Now,
Yeah.
do you think once I know there's talks in the Primate Public Safety Act going in. Have you heard anything about that? Do you think that maybe if that passes, that this could possibly help maybe reduce the number of people purchasing primates and monkeys out, in the black market?
Yeah, the Captive Primate Safety Act. Yeah, I do think so. I think anytime there's legal progress, even if it's state by state, like right now, there is no federal law prohibiting primate ownership. We hope that there will be. But in the meantime, every time another state prohibits it, it's a win because it's just setting that much more of a precedent. And honestly, it makes it harder then for the breeders to provide these monkeys to the pet trade. We definitely see hot spots where primate ownership is more legal. I'm talking like North Carolina, Florida. That's where a lot of the requests for primate placement in sanctuaries come from.
Seems to be.
Yeah, it's a direct link. And it's like, the sanctuaries are inundated. There's too many primates who need placement in sanctuaries. These are the problem areas. It's because of the laws. So we need to change the laws. And I think every time, a primate attack takes place, whether it's most recently, there was a chimpanzee in Oregon that a pretty serious attack against the family of his owner. That proves why this is so important, because these types of situations are going to keep happening as long as primates are able to be owned.
Exactly. And that's why some of
like property. They're not
exactly. And that's why some of these laws need to be, need to change so that these people can stop purchasing some of these animals. And you notice a lot of it, even like going on social media and TikTok, you see a lot of people posting stuff like that on there about owning their little monkey here or their exotic animal. So it's something that it is obviously a problem, and a lot of the times that people don't realize is that they like you said, you can't keep them for a long time, because they sometimes become very aggressive, and where they end up, you got to get rid of them. Like you said, the sanctuaries they're full. They don't have any more space, and they're nonprofits, so they're not. All the money is just it's from you and I that are giving them giving them money to keep running, because we love what they do. But that's something definitely, the next time you think about you wanting to purchase a monkey on one of those websites online, maybe think twice, because you're committing yourself to over 30 years with that animal.
And most people can't. It can be even longer.
Absolutely.
I mean, we've got chimpanzees in their 60s in NAPSA sanctuaries.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, it's impossible to care for these animals properly in a human home. It truly is. I have no qualms in saying that. And it's just so, social media has some real great, good things about it. But one of the bad things that we're seeing lately is how easily these videos can be spread, that spread really misleading messages. And you can see in the comments, everyone's saying, I want one, I want one. And, and a lot of people send those videos to NAPSA thinking we can do something about it. But number one, most groups can't, because they're originating from states where private ownership is legal. And so, there have been a small amount of times that I've seen states investigate when it seems to be coming from a state where it is illegal. And that's great. And we need more of that. But, just the nature of social media, there's just so much out there, and it's so easy to send out the wrong message to everyone. Yeah. So we need the Instagrams and Twitters and Facebooks to try to curtail those types of videos.
Right, exactly.
Not to mention the ones that are trying to sell animals. Right. I mean, those are even worse. And a lot of times they're scams too.
Yeah. And then, exactly. Flush out all those accounts of, people posting stuff, all the photo ops and stuff like that, especially when they're out in different countries, posting with, tigers that are sedated and all that, which is, it makes me very mad when I see that stuff online. But it's just, people are not, sometimes they're not, we need to educate them and tell them, like, really, you're doing more harm by visiting these places. You don't realize. I'm like, did you know that tiger is actually sedated? He's literally drugged 24 hours a day. And sometimes they're like, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't notice that it was kind of like wonky and a little sleepy. Yeah. I'm like, no tiger's going to let you take a picture with them. Trust me. I'm like, let's go. We can go right now to a reputable sanctuary.
Go try.
We can go try.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you won't get 2 feet in front of it because you would probably won't even let you.
Well, yeah. And, NAPSA has documents, like you mentioned education, and that is completely the solution here until the laws change. So NAPSA has a page on our website for advocacy. Good. And so if you go to primatesanctuaries.org and click on advocacy, you'll see we have a number of position statements and educational resources on these topics. And one of them that I'm constantly referring people to is the one that differentiates what we call pseudo sanctuaries from true sanctuaries. Right. So it has some bullet points like if you see these things, this is an exploitive place. If you see photo ops, if you see public contact, like
ambassadors.
And so that helps people. Exactly. Ambassadors removing the animals for any reason other than medical. A lot of the things that we see online from some of these repeat offenders are very easy to identify when you know what to look for. And so many people just don't know. It's not that they don't care. They don't know. So that's why we're so focused on education because, it doesn't take much to understand the reasons why the use of primates in entertainment and the pet trade is so harmful.
Yeah.
And when you get it, you get it.
Yeah. You know what? And it also makes it even more difficult when some of the accredited zoos are actually doing what we're talking about. And so now these people are going to these places. I'm like, well, now they're accredited. And they're doing photo ops with these, these exotic animals. So I'm confused. What's education? Yeah. This place that says it's accredited and it's telling me this is okay, but then this other ones are telling me that it's not. So it's I think there's a lot of misleading information.
There absolutely is. And I think the best thing that people can do in that case is to put themselves in the point of view of the animal and say, what would I want if I were this tiger or this serval or this whatever, what would I want?
Do I want to be paraded around all day and be touched by a bunch of humans? And, especially like with cats get stressed very easily. I think about twice about going on vacation and taking my cat 45 minutes down to my parents' place to keep him for a week because he gets stressed. So I can't imagine a bigger...
Exactly. And imagine...
a bigger cat.
Imagine if he was on a stage, and imagine if he didn't have that life that he has with you, and was constantly stressed or constantly being trained or whatever it was. It's no life that anyone deserves, much less these animals. What really, really kills me is that these animals are all bred like on purpose. Yeah. They didn't, we didn't pluck them from the wild. They're here because humans wanted them to be here and they wanted to use them for some purpose. And that's just...
They're bred for profit.
Yeah. We need to improve things a lot in our society before this can be better.